Gentlemen, Anthony Gilbert, Slam Magazine. Quick question for Kyle and then question for you, DeMar. Kyle, can you just talk about, we always talk about you being from Philadelphia and you've always played with that chip on your shoulder. Can you talk about that in relation to tonight's game?
You know, my background is, kind of made me the man I am today, but coming to a situation where, down 0-2, they did what they were supposed to do on their home floor, and um, we had an opportunity to do what we had to do on our home floor. So just understanding the situation and um, taking advantage of being at home and completing the task. So now we got, go on the road and try to get one.
And DeMar, just really quickly, when you see Kyle getting into his rhythm, what does that do for your game?
For me,
Yes.
it's a cakewalk for me. Once he get going, it opens up everything for me on the floor. Teams try to focus in on him, and he know when to get me going. He got the ball. He our point guard. He our leader of this team, and he know how to orchestrate what needs to be done out there.
Chris Parker,
right
Cleveland team over on your right. You guys had a lot of success on the between the two of you, Kyle and DeMar, doing the pick and roll, the screen with especially late in the fourth quarter. I was curious what you were looking to do and what was successful about it.
Just try to get a switch. Try to get LeBron off me. Try to get them to switch. Get a smaller man on me, or try to look for the slip out for Cal. It was just a read. Just trying to get LeBron, get a bigger body off me.
Joseph, go ahead.
Guys, early in the fourth, they were trapping both of you guys on pick and rolls, and it seemed to kind of create some havoc in the offense. And then both of you guys broke through with a ton of big plays down the stretch. Was there anything you guys tweaked in the huddles, or did it just come down to both your individual ability to make plays?
Go ahead, man.
We were solid down the stretch. Understanding that they scored, we had to come down and get a bucket. And we just executed. We made the right reads. Cal did a great job trying to screen, and I got some easy looks. Then he got it going. Okay.
Greg, go ahead.
I was hoping I can get both of you guys to respond to this. When you guys have been in situations where you've been struggling in these playoffs, like down 2-0 in this series, or when you were struggling with your shots in the first couple of rounds, what is it meant to have an influence like a guy like a Wayne Embry here to bounce ideas off and talk to?
Oh man, having a legend. He's a legend. Just having him around. He don't say much, but we understand what he's done, and we got some things in our locker room and training room. His words, and he's just a good positive vibe guy, and he doesn't say much at all. We just know he's there and supporting us. So it's really that simple.
Yeah, when you have knowledge like that around, that been around the game for much longer than you've been on this earth, you can learn something every single day. It's always a new situation where he could, chime in on and give you the best advice. He just listen. Like I said, he don't say much, but you know when to say the right thing when needed.
Michael.
Michael Grange from Sportsnet. I mean, when you guys were coming back down 2-0, no team had lost conference finals games by at least 19 points or more. Everywhere you turned, this series wasn't going back to Cleveland. Do you think you guys are being taken seriously now as contenders for NBA Finals, as a team that could win this series?
People gonna have their own opinions. Everybody have their own opinions. Like I always say, we gonna do what we do, and that's all we're focused on is our team and what we believe.
How aware have you been of that prevailing opinion?
Not aware at all. All we worry about is what's in our locker room. That's it. That's all that matters.
DeMar?
Same. Honestly, we've been playing with our backs against the wall. We never cared what nobody else thought. It was a challenge for us every single day. We've been counted out, and we like that challenge.
Go ahead. Yep, Andre.
Josh, Tencent China. A question for both. Kyle, you said this morning you gave 7.5 to Game 3. So what kind of score would you give to this game? And if it's not a 10, in what way can you guys still improve?
They shot 47%. They made 13 threes out of 41. We only made 7. I mean, we can always play better. You know, they won the second half, and you know we got to continue to get better. And I don't rate any game. I don't think we have a perfect game. There's no such thing as a perfect game unless you know shoot 100% from the field. I think it's just we got to continue to look at it and tweak what we need to tweak and get better and continue to get the things we need to do execution-wise.
Go ahead, Steve.
Kyle,
Yes.
what's different about your team as you go to Cleveland this time? Is this a home-and-home series, or are you 4 games deep into learning about this team you're facing now?
I think we're 4 games deep into learning and vice versa. I'm sure they figured out some things that we've done, and we figured out some things that they've done. But it's just like it's a match. We got to figure it out. You got to tweak things. You got to see things. You got to watch the film and see where you can get better at. See where you can get an open shot at. See see the things that we are executing, but also see the things that we are executing and making sure that we continue to do that.
Ian?
Kyle, you touched on it right off the top about the importance of now succeeding on the road in Cleveland. Based on what you know from what happened in the first 2 games of the series, what are you guys going to have to do differently when you go in Cleveland next this time?
We didn't finish. I think the game 2 we finished the first quarter well. We had the second quarter it was tied. We got to go into halftime close. We can't let them get on one of those big runs, and we really can't. And that's where they start to make separation, and that's what they did the first 2 games. And they make a big run, they get a double-digit lead. We can't have them get a double-digit lead. We have to continue to make sure that when they punch, we punch back, and if they punch 3 times, we punch 4 times. We got to continue to understand that they're not going to just lay down. They're going to continue to go push, but we can't. We ain't laying down either.
Go ahead, Mark.
Kyle, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Any sense after evening this series that the Cavaliers may look at you guys differently than they did coming back up here to Toronto?
I don't think they ever looked at us like, inferior opponents. They did what they were supposed to do on their home floor. And I don't think they, I said it before, we won 56 games. We got the 2 seed for a reason. They played well their first 2 games, and, they protected home. And now we came home and protected home. I don't think they looked at us no different. They knew, we knew and they knew that was going to be a battle. And, them winning the first 2 games, that's what they were supposed to do. And now we won our 2 games. Now it's the, best of 3.
2 more, Eric.
Eric Kareem, Vice Sports. Question for DeMar. You mentioned this was the first game with LeBron on you sort of from the start of things, and you mentioned looking for those switches. Was the first round battle against Paul sort of instructive for that, or is it a completely different scenario and sort of picking your spots this series?
It's different. Seemed like a while ago, when we were against Indiana, it was different. Just got to pick and choose your spots with them, try to run them off as many screens as possible. And, Cal do a good job when we run the 1-2 screen, getting me open. So it's just a different dynamic.
Final question, Howard.
Question for both of you. This has been kind of a roller coaster ride for both of you, some high highs and low lows in this postseason and even within this series. What have you guys done to just steady yourselves after some of those lower moments, and what do you think you've learned about yourselves being this deep in the playoffs for the first time?
I think, some games we haven't shot the ball well, and, we just continue to go back and, understand the work that we've put in. And I know the work he's put in. I know the work I've put in. You can't go away from that. You have to continue to stay with the work and the process that you put in, throughout your career, throughout the years. And I think the things that we've learned, from ourselves is 1 game, 2 games erase everything that has happened before. Yes, we have the memory, but, you win a game, it's like, oh. Then you lose a game, it's like, So it's either, you're just back and forth. But you got to find a way to be more consistent. And that's one thing I think both of us want to do is be more consistent throughout the whole series.
Thank you. Or Howard, you have a follow-up?
Oh, you want DeMar to answer?
Okay, sorry. 2 for 1.
What have you learned about yourself?
When
you shoot the ball?
I'm glad you said that because I really forgot the question. No, but it's been great, man. One thing about us, we can take the bad with the good any day. And it's a life, man. You know, you can't get too down when things not going your way, but you understand the work that what you put in all summer, you know, all throughout the season for moments like this. You got to be ready. You know, I always told this guy when we were struggling, it's not about now. As long as we got an opportunity to keep playing, we got an opportunity to make up for this. You know, I think that's where we at. Everything happens for a reason.